Welcome back to Character Select, Dave Space Courtroom Dramas with Phoenix Wright. We're gonna.
I believe it's called Ace Attorney.
Sorry, Ace Attorney. So we're gonna question Mr. Frank Saw It. So
I was going door to door selling. We don't need to.
Yeah. So this is the same thing that he said before. We have to find out what he said that's not right. So let's bring up this. The attorney's badge is never evidence that you need to present. I'm going to show you the evidence, and you're going to tell me what's wrong. So that's all the evidence that we have. Anything you want to look at closer?
Yeah, the blackout record.
Okay, this is all the information we need to know. It was blacked out from noon to 6.
Okay, go back.
To...
the passport?
She got home the day before the murder.
Okay. What time did he find her?
(1 p.m.)
1 p.m. And what time was the blackout?
12 to 6.
Okay, so it was blacked out.
Mm-hmm. So he couldn't use the phone.
Okay. Continue.
So without a doubt, the defendant's sitting right over there. So that's it. So I'm just going back to the start. Going door to door when he saw a man fleeing an apartment. He must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. Quailed and frightened, found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Remember the time exactly, it was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there.
Okay.
So one of the pieces of evidence that you have will contradict one of these statements.
No idea. I mean... well, the passport's got nothing to do with the,
Okay.
actual murder, does it? I don't know.
So if it's not the blackout report and it's not the passport, you only have two other pieces of evidence left.
Right.
You've got the thinker, and you've got the autopsy report.
Time was at 7:31. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So the time that he said at 1 p.m. is different from the time of death.
Correct. Ergo, he's lying. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m., I'm for certain.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
Oh, that.
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sod, why were you so certain you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question.
Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart.
Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
Okay, witness testimony, the time of discovery.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program.
God, we don't even have VHS anymore.
Right?
That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
Okay.
I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do. I've got this one.
Well, we already know he didn't go into the apartment, so...
Right. But he still could have heard something. And remember, we have to contradict it with the evidence.
See, when I found the body, I heard the time.
It's probably coming from the television, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. This one should be pretty quick. Do you need the evidence again?
Yeah, because I've got no idea.
So, the autopsy report. Okay.
4 to 5, yeah.
Thinker. It's rather heavy. Passport. Blackout record.
Oh.
The first case is super easy.
There wouldn't have been any power.
Exactly. Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. Get used to the fucking slamming of the table, by the way. You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
Yeah, my wig fell off. I would have.
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sart?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Ah! Wait, I remember now.
Mr. Sart? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning.
The court will never hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. Spoiler warning.
I just went into... Hang on, yeah. Oh, hang on, I have to tap back into pass.
Okay.
Here we go. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Sard. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Hearing the time.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
Okay, well... You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly.
Yeah, well, we already know that the Thinker statue.
Oh yeah, here we go. I love the music in this game. This one's called Pursuit Cornered. It's so good.
Music's the same to me.
Well, no, it's a bit more... There's a... more of a... driving beat. It's faster beats per minute. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. Do I really need to point this one out for you, or do you have it?
No, I already told you.
Oh, yeah. That's right, you did.
Oop.
Boop. Idiot. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are?
Just answer the question, Mr. Solid.
Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness testimony was correct. This is a clock. Yes?
Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he...
went into the apartment.
You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there.
I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard.
Order of the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sod, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Why I would...
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock?
That day... I never... Look, the clock, I heard... No, I mean I...
Yeah!
Shut up! I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn, give him death.
That's a little extreme, but okay.
Order. Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sod heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply...
Try
So you
sounding the clock, I guess?
So you see this up here? If you say the wrong thing, you get penalized by the judge, but you get to try again. This is basically the judge's patience. If it runs out, the judge says, you're wasting our time with this bullshit defense. I'm just going to find your client guilty. You obviously have nothing. So never let this run out. Try sounding the clock.
That's the only way I can think of. Like, if it's clock, you tilt the head or whatever.
Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock?
If it's the right...
I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker, after all.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sod heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sod, try to talk your way out of this one.
You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh. What's he talking about now?
While it may seem like the clock was running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
Now remember, the prosecution lays out the case and the defense has to attack it and shut it down. He's technically correct. If I can't prove it, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close!
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict? Is that the right one?
Yep, indict.
The witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sott.
In other words, everything is based on the fact that you are saying that this one specific thing happened, but you can't prove it. Therefore, it's irrelevant.
I came all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! Your lawyers are all slime. Oh, you won't.
I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sott. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slowed the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow, and think it through. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow?
I'm not going to say no.
You gotta prove it, though. Wait! Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
Okay.
Time of death.
What are your thoughts? Why would it be 3 hours slow?
Oh, I've got the updated music now.
Yep.
Not from before, but this one. I don't know. I'd assume it runs on batteries and not power, so the blackout wouldn't make any difference, would it?
Right.
So...
Why would a clock have a different time?
Well, I'm assuming... Well, why would she take the thing to Paris? Like...
That doesn't matter. If she went to Paris and she set the clock to the right time for Paris...
Hang on. Sorry, what did you just say? You're...
Sorry, the Discord is fucking up. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Can you hear me better now?
Okay.
If she went to Paris...
So that's the only reason I can think of, but
Yeah.
I don't know why she'd take it to Paris. That doesn't make any sense.
Don't assume that... Don't ask why she would take it to Paris. Assume that she did, and you have your answer.
Discord, please. Okay. Oh, I think my internet's dying. Oh god.
No,
What's going
it's
on?
my internet. Hold on. We'll be right back, everybody. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It? Or should I say, Mr. Did It?
Or, order, I say. What? 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 Well, that was the case.
That was the case.
Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected.
Because Phoenix managed to take that last bit of evidence and turn things around. That's why it's called the turnabout trial or whatever.
Mr. Payne, your witness?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever heard someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts,
not guilty! Yay!
and with that, this court is adjourned. So these games came out for the Game Boy Advance, didn't they?
The original Japanese ones came out for the Game Boy Advance, the first, second, and third ones. And then when they were translated and brought to the US and other countries, they were brought on the DS. So they actually added features, and they added a fifth case to this one too. So
I'm just gonna close the window because it's fucking cold.
Oh yeah. It's always funny to me that we're in different hemispheres, so when I'm freaking dying of the heat, you're freezing. Always funny to me. You back?
Yeah.
Okay. Turns out that Frank saw it was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sot let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sot grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3, 2:32 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Whew, still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
Do you remember Larry's voice?
Kind of a whiny weasel douchebag.
My life is over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
Apparently
Good.
I'm going...
Wait, no. I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever.
Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind.
She was a gold digger.
Yeah. Congratulations, Harry.
Harry?
Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent.
Harry Butts.
Harry Butts.
Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate dinner and ruin my treat.
Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook.
Oh, hey! Here, take this. It's a present.
A present for me? Wait, isn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her, one for me.
Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry?
Larry, Are you so sure?
Squeeze me?
I think she's thought quite a lot of you in her own way.
Nah, you're not gonna sympathize with me. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Ray? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? At the end of every case you get one of these, you can't mess it up. But what the heck is she talking about? What proves that she actually liked him, kinda?
What's the passport? Wait, what's...
I mean, it's only one of two things, because the autopsy report and the blackout record are of nothing.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's the passport. Because the autopsy report doesn't seem like...
Yeah. It is not the passport.
It
went
isn't.
to Paris. She went to Paris and took the statue that he gave her.
So maybe
Of course
it's
she-
that...
Of course she kind of
Oh,
liked
of course, it's the statue!
it. Yeah. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her.
What about the clock?
This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled.
Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all.
You think so?
Hello, background noise.
It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will.
Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am, thanks.
Hope that made him feel a little better. Boop, boop. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us. Unless you count the clock you gave me." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end.
Well, that was a short game.
Well, that was episode 1. So,
A brand new episode.
every time you finish an episode, you get a new one.
Okay.
So, save your progress up to this point. Sure. All right.
So, next time on CharacterSelect?
Yeah, next time on Character Select, we'll move on to episode 2, Turnabout Sisters, which will actually introduce the investigation portion of the game, which is kind of not my favorite thing, but, you know, it is what it is. So, it gets you back to the courtroom, so that's what's important. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure to click that like button down below if you liked it, and space. Great job on your first case.
Oh, I had a lot of help. Turns out when you have everything given to you, you just do it.
Hey, I didn't point out anything to you except that last one.
Oh.